right here on track 2 at this Mitten Kittens X. I am here with Eat, Chip, and Die of Downriver.
What's up?
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Lassie?
I am great. I'm so excited Mitten Kittens is back after 4 long years.
We are back. It is Mitten Kittens to the extreme.
That it is. And we have skating for Lansing this afternoon. We've got Andy Wardall, Andy DeSpanko, Bad Aptitude, Deacon Bruise, Demolition, Blame, Hemlocked, Lucille Brawl, Mick Jammer, Ready Set Riot, Rogue One, Roxy Heartbreaker, Voodoo Dolly, Warhol, and rounding out the roster, Zero Foe Given.
All right, and up for Ann Arbor, we have Adrian, Botoxic, Derive, Sid Monster, None of Your Business, Dark and Stormy, Snow Mercy, Alan Wrench, Warm Regards, Wolfstone Crash, A Lot of Legs, Terminator, and Nadia. Lead Jammer going up to Andy Wardall.
Number 4 of Ann Arbor trailing behind.
That's always a great way to start the game. Jump like that, picking up those 4 points.
And Lansing is on the board with 4 points.
On the way down, getting the call off, knowing where that other jammer is.
So far, we've got a 5-on-5 pack. No one in the penalty box just yet.
That was a very, very quick jam to get things going.
And right away, the Ann Arbor Jammer cuts through the inside. That is number 18.
None of Your Business with Lead Jam.
Thank you. Ann Arbor's, Lansing's Jammer still on that initial pass. Number 88, Ready Set Riot, trying to get through that wall of white at the back of the pack. Lansing putting up some good resistance there on None of Your Business. None of Your Business coming up for 4 points there. Ann Arbor now on the board for 4. Dark and Stormy calls it. And 2 jams into this first half. We have a tied game. Longtime Derby fans know what that means. If you got a glass, raise it. We drink.
That is a mighty fine soda pop that I have to drink.
I've got my water right here, Chip.
Hey, hydration is the key.
It really is.
Coming to the second jam here. Second jam.
Third jam.
Third jam. I don't know how to count.
It's okay, neither do I. That was a lucky guess.
I run out of fingers and toes too quick.
Deacon Bruce of Lansing coming around to put the hit on number 800, Terminate Her, jamming for Ann Arbor. Number 3-2-1, no, 3-3-1, Hemlock of Lansing. Finally out will not be your lead jammer. That's going to be Terminate Her of Lansing.
Hemlock.
Lansing.
Hemlock had a nice little jump right over the apex to get her out of the pack there.
That was nice, yeah.
A little bit of an awkward call off there for Terminator, but calling off the jam coming into turn 3.
And both teams employing the time-honored hit it and quit it strategy so far in this bout. 4 points going on the board there for Ann Arbor. And it looks like Hemlock stole a point there for Lansing.
Hemlock may have stole a point, but she may be stealing hearts later.
I don't know how I knew, Chip, but I knew you were going to say that. Bad Aptitude, team captain for Lansing, doing a dynamite job holding that wall in the front of the pack. Demolition going to come in for an assist. We got number 179, Sid Monster, Ann Arbor's captain, wearing the star. Number 31, Roxy Heartbreaker, taking a tumble to the outside there. Sid Monster, lead jam.
Now this will be good because we got the same ref crew from the game before, Ann Arbor, or I'm sorry, not Ann Arbor, Downriver versus Irish Hill Bombshells. Great game, but
I caught the tail end of that. It was a good game. Number 4 points going on the board for Sid Monster there. Roxy Heartbreaker trailing.
real fast pack going here.
Sid Monster calling it off just before her second pass.
This can't be this way.
Holding Lansing scoreless in that jam.
That was a very fast pack out on the track.
It's going to bring Ann Arbor up to 12. Lansing trailing at 5. Still 7-point game. Still very close. Still very much anyone's game here. Alan Wench of Ann Arbor holding down that blocker line there in the front of the pack. Number 14, Warhol doing the same for Lansing. And 2-on-8, 0 foul given. She is going to be your lead jammer for Lansing.
Adrian took a big hit to the inside. She had to get recycled back, giving Zero Fox given enough time to pull lead.
Adrian coming around for that scoring pass. 0, hit it and quit it. 4 points on the board for Lansing. Going to bring them up to 9. So now 3-point game. Very, very close.
We've got 3 points now separating these two teams. So far, 3 even matches, low penalties. It looks really good out there. Trading blows back and forth.
Got number 359, Wolfstone Crash of Ann Arbor. Wait, and we're lining back up. We thought the jam was about to start, and we have.
Looks like they're going to get things back underway.
We're getting the things back underway here.
I believe they heard a whistle from someplace else in the venue. I believe that's exactly what I was going to say.
And
as well. A little bit of whistle.
We have a lot of whistles, a lot of calls going on. This is a 2-track venue. We've got a second bout going on at the same time. Whistles, calls that can get a little confusing. Ann Arbor, number 18, none of your business, going to be your lead jammer. Andy Wardall of Lansing out, will not be your lead jammer. And nice apex jump, almost unlocked. Nutter calls it from the floor, hit it and quit it. 4 more points for Ann Arbor.
Annie DeSpanko going to the penalty box. Coach Jar talking to the refs. It's a good conversation. I have those conversations a lot.
I've noticed.
Sometimes it's asking about a call, sometimes just clarification. Sometimes I want to know what they're going to have for dinner at the after party.
Or what they're going to be drinking at the after party. Deacon Brews, 56 of Lansing, holding down that line of blockers very well. Deacon Brews, relatively new to Lansing this past year, really making some great strides. Ready, set, riot. 88 of Lansing will be your lead jammer. And we have our jammers are neck and neck on the turn. Number 800, terminate her of Lansing, hoping to force a call off. Off achievement unlocked. Looks like Ready, Set, Riot stole 4 points there for Lansing. Ann Arbor held scoreless. And the scoreboard is almost neck and neck. Ann Arbor in a slight lead at 16. Lansing at 13. I hope those of you watching this live stream at home can feel the excitement. This is truly anyone's game, Chip. 2 very well-matched teams here.
Now, Lexi, you normally announce for Lansing.
I do.
So you're pretty well integrated with these ladies, these skaters. So you know them really well. Like, what are you expecting to see out of them?
Well, you know, Andy Wardall, Ready, Set, Riot, great, steady jammers. Deacon Brews, Lucille Brawl, pretty versatile. Lucille Brawl, we see her on the track. She's pivot right now. Really nice blocker, more positional. You don't see the big hits as much. Warhol also out there, great blocker. And we've really seen Lansing tighten up their teamwork in the last season. You know, the
Having-
communication.
Having played Lansing's A team and, well, the teams that I coach playing Lansing's A team and B team, leaps and bounds. I've seen so many skaters from Lansing improve drastically,
Well,
and it's been an amazing thing to watch.
Well, you know, Lansing was one of the first teams to start bouting again post-COVID after the merger of the Lansing Derby Vixens and the Mitten Mavens. They had enough skaters to do intra-league bouting, and that was before a lot of leagues were able to field a whole team. And so they were able to sharpen their skills, play each other, relearn the game, and I think that's really been to their benefit. And we've got, say no more, number 31, Roxy Heartbreaker, gonna be your lead jammer for Lansing. But Ann Arbor, of course, Chip, longtime Michigan powerhouse.
I started as a ref with Ann Arbor when I first started Derby, so many years ago.
Oh yeah, 2011, I think.
Yep.
And
it just so happens my incredibly beautiful and talented Derby wife is coaching Ann Arbor, Candy Nakaho,
yeah,
one of my favorite people in the world.
okay, because
We're announcing I'm allowed to say that.
that's right. And you know, the teams I haven't announced for lately, some people I'm seeing for the first time in years at this tournament, and it takes me a minute to remember. Okay, I know you, but what was your name?
I was very excited when I got to see some faces I haven't seen in quite a while.
Looks like that's zero fall given on the jam line there for Lansing. And we've got number 18 jamming for Ann Arbor. None of your business. She will be your lead jammer. Zero doing her level best to break through that wall of blockers on the turn. 359 of Ann Arbor doing a Wolfstone crash. Again, doing a nice job holding that line. Meanwhile, None of Your Business coming around for 4.
Star pass, but not a very successful one. She got knocked to the inside and recycled. Oh, and she breaks through. Number 218, looks like.
Star Pass achievement unlocked. This is Mick Jammer, another long-time Lansing jammer taking the star for the first time in this bout.
Got caught up a little bit on the inside when she took the pass and got knocked down, but beautiful breakout by the time she got to the straightaway.
For Lansing, I'll give you, well, in a second, I'll tell you what that brings Lansing score up to.
I mean, if she's Mick Jammer, when she gets out of the pack, she needs to tell the crowd they're naughty.
Right.
Tell the crowd they're naughty. Walk like a chicken.
And we do have a nice crowd here. You know, sometimes at the tournaments, you don't get a lot of fans. Everyone in the Derby world, they're either skating, they're volunteering, they're officiating, they're running merch, you know. But we do have several fans here a little group of fans here in the stands.
Tens and dozens of fans all over the world.
Tens and dozens of fans. Hey, Chip, do you still hear me on your? Because I don't think I'm hearing you in my ears.
I did something in the.
I was going to appreciate it when they actually run the play and let the jammers do it.
I'm not hearing me. I'm hearing you.
Okay, because I can hear me, and I can hear me in my own ears, and I could hear you in my ears, but then I stopped hearing you.
Yeah, they came up with something. Maybe they turned me off. There's a possibility they turned my mic off, which does not surprise me. Sometimes I should not be let into the public.
Oh,
Timeout.
so we want to take a minute to thank our hosts for this tournament here at the Lansing Center in downtown Lansing. Thank you so much for opening your doors to us this weekend, 3 full days of Derby. Also, thank you so much to Lansing Roller Derby for hosting Mitten Kittens yet again. Lansing, of course, Mitten Kitten hosts back in 18 and 19, here to host again. Ed, timeout's over. We're back on the track. Those of you watching at home, I don't know if you can see how Warhol is holding down that line. She was doing a dynamite job there. Of course, Ann Arbor coming in to break up that line. Andy Wardall, jammer, almost getting hit to the outside. Nope, she will be your lead jammer. And this is a power jam for Lansing. Apparently, that must have been what that timeout was for. The Ann Arbor jammer picked up a penalty in that last jam. Andy Wardall taking a ride off her teammate, Deacon Bruce. Heading to the front of that pack for 4 points. Terminate her, newly freed from the box, coming around. Lansing bench coach giving Andy Wardall a signal to keep going, but the jam is called off. Looks like Andy picked up 3 more points in that jam.
Right before she went to the box for her penalty, I saw terminated her. Just look at her team. Excellent communication. She said, I'll be back.
And we are on a razor's edge here, those of you watching at home. Lansing 29, Ann Arbor at 28. This is an incredibly close game. Ready, Set, Riot of Lansing doing her level best to break through that wall of white at the front of the pack. Ann Arbor's jammer, meanwhile, still caught at the front of that pack. Bad Aptitude team captain looking to break up that wall and keep back. What's 179. Sid Monster jamming for Ann Arbor. Sid Monster's going to take a hit to the outside, but Ready, Set, Riot pinballed from one end of the track to the other. That is number 19, Dark and Stormy of Ann Arbor, doing some nice blocking. And Ready, Set, Riot will be your lead jammer. Ready, Set, Riot coming around on that scoring pass. Sid Monster not far behind. Ready, Set, Riot calls it. Now I'll tell you how many points she scored once I see her jam ref's fingers go up. Oh, okay, double goose egg on that jam. So if those of you watching at home, Lansing still at 29, Ann Arbor at 28. We have just under 15 minutes left to go in this first half.
Such a close game going on right now. I mean, only 1 point. We're halfway through the first half. I mean, what can you say? Like, I love good derby. I love good sports. It doesn't matter what team it is.
Oh, I do too, Chip. And this is some really awesome derby we're watching here.
Oh, how many times like I'm sitting there coaching and I see the other team like do something at me. I'm like, man, that was a good move. That was a good play.
Yeah. I hope you were taking notes when you played Flint 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I took notes.
That was an incredible game. And
yeah, that was. We learned some things about ourselves. We learned some things about the game.
And Flint, of course, one of the few Michigan teams not represented at this tournament. Flint doing a lot of traveling this season, but we might see them here. We might see them at Mitten Kittens 2024.
That has been Flint has been one of my favorite teams to watch. Kind of hit that proverbial rebuilding time period and then just skyrocket.
Meanwhile, this game is also great to watch. Ann Arbor and Lansing, of course, two terrific teams here. Demolition just getting hit to the middle of the track there. Adrian, lead jammer, Ann Arbor.
Adrian able to use a little power there.
I know. They are muscling their way through that wall of black. 4 points going on the board there for Adrian. And 4 points on the board there for Mick Jammer of Lansing.
Yeah, Lansing in their black jerseys, Ann Arbor in their whites. Jam called off.
And Adrian picked up a couple more points there in that jam. And that's gonna put Ann Arbor in the lead at 38, Lansing at 33. Still very, very, very close game. Dark and Stormy, number 19 of Ann Arbor, has the Lansing jammer in her sights there. I can almost feel her eyes burning into the Lansing jammer. I'll tell you who that is in a second. Meanwhile, Wardall doing her best to hold back number 18. None of your business will be your lead jammer. That's number 31, Roxy Heartbreaker of Lansing, going for that star pass. None of your business, meanwhile, coming around on the scoring, on her first scoring pass. Looks like 4 points going on the board for None of Your Business. That's bringing Ann Arbor up to 42. Star pass achievement unlocked from Lansing. This is number 10, Lucille Brawl.
Nice little apex there.
Yeah, little baby apex jump there, Chip. 4 more points on the board for Ann Arbor there. Deacon Bruce also coming around for 4. Now Your Business has to break past. Nice hit there from Demolition of Lansing. None of Your Business coming around for another 4 points. That's going to be the jam.
Looks like Ann Arbor wanted to call a timeout.
That is Ann Arbor's bench coach there making the timeout sign. Officials finally noticing Ann Arbor calling a team timeout here with just over 10 minutes left to go in this first half. And again, and Ann Arbor catapulted to the half-century mark with that jam. 50 points, Lansing trailing at 39. This is the biggest lead held by either team at this point, 11-point game.
So who else do we have to thank for, I heard we have an awesome after party. Where's that after party at?
After party's going to be at the Lansing Shuffle Social Club. Tonight's the reception from 9 to 12. Tomorrow, another after party, 9 to 12. I don't think I've ever been to the Lansing Shuffle. How about you?
I have not, so I'm excited to check out their wares.
We hope that all of you watching at home will also join us at the Lansing Shuffle tonight after the bouts are over. A whole lot of derby this first day.
Have you seen these MVP awards?
I have, yes.
The Coochie family. We got some great marmalades, it looks like.
Peach jam, orange marmalade,
Jam,
mango jam. Wow.
One of my jammer that got our MVP, she got a hot, like a
spicy.
Yeah, like a spicy.
Nice.
Yeah, that's interesting. Then we got some roller bones.
Cool. I saw that. Some new wheels, bearings.
Wheels, bearings.
Oh, we're back into action. Timeout is over. And we're watching the Lansing jammer working, and that is Zero Foe Given. She will be your lead jammer. She paused on the turn there a little bit like, am I lead jammer or did I just get a penalty?
One of the things I've been trying to teach my teams is you gotta have that track awareness, gotta listen for those whistles.
You do, and that is more difficult here with 2 bouts going on at once. Zero on her scoring pass here. Number 800 terminate her. Still working on that initial 4 points going on the board there for Zero Foe Given. Yar giving Zero the sign to keep on going.
Oh,
big!
Hit.
That was. Did you see who gave that?
Legs?
Oh yeah, legs. Long time. Been in and out of the game a few times. Started with Flint, good 12 years ago or so.
I remember Legs when she was with Ann Arbor.
Yep, still with Ann Arbor.
Well, she was gone for a long time, and
Yeah.
just recently came back. Still got it.
Still got it, very much so. It's always fun to see the longtime Derby vets at these tournaments, Chip. You know, so many skaters been in Michigan Derby more than a decade at this point. Ann Arbor breaking through, lead jam, Sid Monster.
It's a strange feeling sometimes when you become that long time. Like I remember when we had the first Mitten Kitten, and I'm just some new
Yes.
guy.
Me too. Me too.
And now
And
here I am, 11, 12 years later, and I'm the vet.
I know what you mean. I started in Flint. Can you believe it? 16 years ago now.
16 years, wow.
I mean, I was still in my 20s for crying out loud.
You're a baby.
I know.
You're a baby.
And look, 16 years later, I can't quit. I can't quit Derby.
Yeah.
Adrian jamming for Ann Arbor. They are trying their hardest to get through that wall. Deacon Bruce, Mick Jammer doing a nice job holding that wall together, but Adrian is going to be your lead jammer. And Ready, Set, Riot headed to that penalty box. This is going to be a power jam for Ann Arbor.
Power jam.
You know, both teams skating pretty clean this bout, Chip. We haven't seen a lot of penalties.
Not a ton, no.
No, and Adrian putting 4 more points on the board there for Ann Arbor.
Adrian had nice acceleration coming out of the pack.
They do, yeah.
Tried it again and got caught. Getting recycled back.
Mick Jammer, Deacon Bruce waiting for Adrian. Mick Jammer shoving that shoulder. Demolition going to come in for an assist. Nice hit from Deacon Bruce. Adrian stays upright and skating. 4 more points for Ann Arbor.
Nice hit, but Adrian with a nice counter block.
Meanwhile, Ready, Set, Riot, fresh out of that penalty box, taking a hit to the outside, courtesy of Allen Wench. 4 more points for Adrian. One of the higher scoring jams in this bout so far, but again, one of the rare power jams in this bout as well. Both teams skating pretty clean here. So now we are at a 21-point game. That was 12-point jam, courtesy of Adrian. Ann Arbor up to 68. Lansing now at 47. We have just over 6 minutes left to go in this first half.
So close, almost.
So close.
But yeah, with less than 20 points,
Less than,
20 points is nothing.
well, that's 21, but still, it's
21.
nothing. Ann Arbor lead jam. That is none of your business. Hemlock of Lansing just out on her initial pass. None of your business. Coming through fast. Hit it and quit it. 4 points. Calls it off. We want to say thank you to all our skating and non-skating officials who are here tonight, well, this afternoon really, some of whom have traveled near and far to come and assist with this tournament. First Mitten Kittens in 4 years.
Off for 4 years, but yeah, we are up to Mitten Kitten X.
Deacon Bruce headed to that penalty box, 3-on-4 pack. Terminate her, working her way through on that initial pass. Terminate her, gonna be your lead jammer. 31. Roxy Heartbreaker still stuck in that pack on her initial pass. Terminate her, coming around for 4 points. Roxy Heartbreaker out, almost getting tripped by that invisible blocker there on the turn. Roxy Heartbreaker almost looks like she's doing a little dance out there. Deacon Bruce says, I got you, girl. I got the star. 4 more points on the board for Terminate her.
Now, going on this weekend, on top of the tournament that we got going, we kind of sort of have a little mini State Wars tournament going on.
Yeah.
Team Michigan's going to be playing. Right?
Yeah.
We have, what other states we're going to be here?
I think Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
And we do have several announcers, officials here from the is it the Beaver State or the Badger State?
That's a hard thing to do right there.
I think the Badger
The
State.
Badger State, right?
Badger State, thank you.
Because University of Wisconsin is the Badgers.
That's right, that's right. Nope. Looks like Deacon Brew's got no pass, no penalty on that last jam. 3 points for Lansing, and Lansing has called a team timeout. We now have a 40-point game. Ann Arbor at 87, Lansing at 47. We got 3 minutes left to go in this first half. Oh, and this is an official review for Lansing. Could be using this as a timeout. Could be needing to review something. We'll find out if the refs tell us, but that's a big if.
Could turn into like a user type of scenario. Absolutely. Call that official review when you got this kind of time.
So Chip, besides Downriver, is there anybody you're especially rooting for at this tournament?
Official review. You know, we've got some great raffle
Let's see.
donations.
Well,
Some of those great donors
No.
are minors.
Same.
unfortunately, right?
I
So
know.
if it wasn't us, it'd probably be Flint, but Flint's not here.
Right. Same. I mean, like I said, I'm always gonna have. I have special love in my heart for Lansing. Been announcing for them for a long time, and of course Lansing, 3rd year, opening their doors to Derby.
Yeah.
I almost said Derbyists. I don't know if that's a word.
But since Downriver is here, that's a team that's near and dear to my heart.
Of course.
And so I gotta stick with Downriver. Like we're gonna run Division 2. We're gonna take the D2 championship.
And Downriver has, I saw them 2 weeks ago in Flint, and that was a loss. But again, strong
What
team.
was it?
I knew you had something to say about that, Chip.
What was it? That point spread was not nearly as wide as it should have been.
I know. I know. Your team made it very tough for Flint. But let's get back to the teams on the track right now. Bad Aptitude doing what she does best, holding that blocker line there for Lansing. Ann Arbor's jammer, that is 179. Sid Monster, she will be your lead jammer. Demolition headed to the penalty box for that block. That just means you did too good of a job blocking, in my opinion. Andy Wardall trailing. She will not be your lead jammer. And scooting almost untouched. Sid Monster comes up against that wall of black and calls it. Oh, never mind.
Jam's still on.
That was not a call off. Sid Monster on her way to the penalty box. This is going to be a power jam for Lansing. Andy Wardall, not your lead jammer. This one's going to
Full 2 minutes.
full 2 minutes. A longtime Derby fans, of course. Technically, all jams are 2 minutes, but the lead jammer can call it off at any time unless they go to the penalty box. Blocker pile up there. Bad Aptitude goes tumbling to the floor. Andy Wardall putting 4 points on the board. This could be just the chance Lansing needs to even up that score before we go into halftime. Andy Wardall coming right out of that pack for 4 points.
Little apex jump there.
Yeah, that's
You
nice.
can tell she's starting to slow down.
We're pretty far into the half here, and it wasn't
Sid-
a full apex jump, but
Yeah. Yeah, but the apex jump, I mean, that's a lot of practice, a lot of missed jumps before you see a skater able to do it in a bout. And of course,
Andy Wardall pulling a forearm penalty right at the end.
next jam going to be power jam for Ann Arbor. And Ann Arbor just 5 points below that century mark at 95, Lansing at 56. With just 53 seconds left to go, time for one, possibly two more jams in this first half.
Uno mas. Uno mas.
Both benches trying to get some information to the rest before we get to 5 seconds.
Lucille Brawl putting a block on there. Adrian, nice, almost hit there on Deacon Bruce. Adrian gonna be lead jammer. Lucille Brawl waiting for her, waiting for them at the front of that pack. Adrian coming around for 4 points. Now Adrian's at the end of the track. We can't see from the announcer's table because of all those darn officials in the way. Andy Wardall, fresh out of that penalty box. She's going to come up against a number 16 Drive of Ann Arbor. Meanwhile, Adrian coming around for yet another 4 points, and that is going to put Ann Arbor over the century mark at 103. 0 minutes on the period clock. We still have a minute left to go on the jam clock. Lansing and no pack's been called. Lansing's got to let Adrian go. That's going to be another 4 points for Ann Arbor. Andy Wardall looking to get the star pass there. Deacon Bruce, 56, looking to take that star. Adrian coming on for another 4 points. This is a very high scoring jam here.
Andy Wardall just got called off for a penalty.
Andy Wardall getting another penalty here, another power jam for Ann Arbor.
She's definitely going to be starting in the box for the second half. Need
Oh
to
yeah,
get that
that's
star off the track.
that's
Need to get
right.
that star off the track.
That's right. We just have a few seconds left to go in this jam. And the officials call it off, but Adrian scored yet another 4 points. And as we go into the half, there's a 24-point jam for Adrian. All right, we're almost back in the action here. Those of you watching at home, the next bout on this track, track 2, aka the green track, we are going to watch the Ann Arbor B team, Division 1, take on the number 5 Division 1 Team UP. And that should be a great game to watch. I will be announcing a bout on the other track, but they're all going to be back. We're back in the action. Ladies, gentlemen, NB's Derby fans, Andy Wardall, remember, picked up a penalty at the end of that last jam. This is a power jam for Ann Arbor. And Adrian back on the jam line. They will be your lead jammer. Adrian, of course, fresh off of a 24-point jam right at the end of the first period. And the first points of the second half are on that board. 4 points for Ann Arbor. Andy Wardall out of that penalty box, looking to get a star pass there. See the pivot, see the cover in her hand, putting it back on. She's the jammer again, everybody. Adrian calls it. Adrian picked up a couple more points there. 6-point jam for Ann Arbor. It's going to bring them up to 125. Lansing trailing at 56. So we went from a very, very close game in the first few jams to now we have almost like a 74-point game here. I don't think that doesn't sound right. 56 Lansing, Ann Arbor 125. Those of you watching at home, you do the math for me. 0 is jamming for Lansing, but none of your business. Ann Arbor will be your lead jammer. 0. Look at the gleam in Zero's eyes. She is hoping to force a call off here from Nutter. Nutter hits that pack full force and calls it. Time-honored hit it and quit it strategy, but it looks like 0 did steal a couple of points in that jam.
So I was able to tap into our live feed so we can see all the Derby action from a different angle as well.
Oh, look at that.
I got 37 viewers out there right now. Perfect
All
number.
30
My number is 37. Perfect number of viewers.
Perfect.
So if you're out there in the Derbyverse, get in the comments. Let us know what you guys are seeing. Let us know how you feeling out there.
Well, right now we're seeing Mick Jammer a little confused over whether she needs to be on the track this jam or not. I already have a pivot, 56 Deacon Bruce. Bruce putting a nice hit there on number 800, terminate her, jamming for Ann Arbor. Ready, set, riot, 88 for Lansing. Ready, set, riot, trying to get past a lot of legs there on the track. Ann Arbor lead jammer. And Ready, Set, Riot out of the pack. She will not be your lead jammer. Lansing's gotta let her go. That's 4 more points on the board there for Terminator. We've got Sid Monster, Ann Arbor team captain, lining back up on the jam line there. And gonna be joined by, I'll tell you when I see their number for Lansing.
Setting up down there towards the jam line.
Warhol doing her best to hold that Lansing line together at the front of the pack. Deacon Bruce going to come in for an assist. Sid Monster having a tough time getting through. Rogue One also going to come in for an assist. We have 331 Hemlock jamming for Lansing, but this is all Sid Monster. She will be your lead jammer. Hemlock finally out of that pack. She will not be your lead jammer. Sid Monster going for that inside, denied by Deacon Bruce, calls it off. Double goose egg on that jam. And with just over 25 minutes left to go in this second half, Lansing still at 58, Ann Arbor up to 131.
Ruh-roh. If my eyes don't deceive me, I think I see the Mitty Kitty walking around the stadium.
Mitty's here?
Mitty's here. Mitty is in the house.
All right. Adrian back out there jamming for Ann Arbor. And Lansing prepared this time. Number 31 of Lansing, Roxy Heartbreaker. She will be your lead jammer. Adrian out, not be your lead jammer. Roxy Heartbreaker, call off from the ground, taking a hard hit there. Another double goose egg on that jam.
She got smashed like a sandwich between Dark and Stormy and Warm Regards.
Warm regards indeed. That looks like Andy Wardall lining up back there on the jam line for Lansing. Both jammers trying to find a way to work through this pack. Number 32 of Lansing, Annie DeSpanko, longtime Lansing veteran, doing a nice job holding that line down. Flame also going to assist. Wardall stuck at the back of the pack there. Neither jammer out just yet. Nice blocking there from both teams. Number 18, None of Your Business. Still almost out of the pack, but Andy Wardall will be your lead jammer.
Lansing's been doing a really great job with the recycling. Like, you get past one blocker, all they do is...
Oh, and Andy makes the jump, scoots laterally across the track, scores 4, calls it from the floor.
Big hit on Andy Wardall, going flying.
I know, I believe I can fly. That's going to bring Lansing up to 32, Ann Arbor at 131. We've got a 3-on-4 pack. Lansing's got one in the box. Zero back out there jamming for Lansing. Zero is going to be your lead jammer. Terminate her. Not quite out of that pack just yet. Got to get past Deacon Bruce. Zero coming up against that wall of white. She's going to be held back by number 35, Warm Regards of Ann Arbor, calls it. No points for Ann Arbor. Double goose egg on that jam. With number 9, Nadia of Ann Arbor, holding down the line. Looks like Zero did pick up 1 point there for Lansing. That's going to bring them up to 63. Ann Arbor still at 131. Annie DeSpanko holding it down there for Lansing.
Last couple of jams in the first half, Ann Arbor really starting to pull away. Such a close game for most of the first half. Now
I know.
Ann Arbor up by 70 points. There's still 20 minutes left.
Well, it's like we were... Oh, and Ready, Set, Riot called out on a track cut. This is going to be a power jam for Ann Arbor. This is exactly what Lansing does not need at this point in the game.
Speaking of riots, Detroit Riot is we're gonna have a little open practice on Sunday morning while Scrim's happening here.
Detroit Riot's getting back together? That's awesome.
We're not getting back together.
You've been together?
We never left.
Because I was looking to see if they had any games coming up. 4 points on the board there for Ann Arbor, Sid Monster. Of course, those of you not in the know, the Detroit Riot is Michigan's premier men's roller derby team.
Yep, we had a couple of real tough games this year. Excellent game against Pittsburgh, who is going to be at Champs next weekend.
Cool.
We played the Race City Rebels, also going to be at Champs next weekend.
Sid Monster, meanwhile, putting 4 more points on the board there for Lansing just as Ready, Set, Riot comes out of that penalty box.
So, yeah, we got told that there's open track, and since Riot is a Michigan-based team, we are all over the state, and
Nice.
just about all of us are here. We're going to have a little practice, and, you know, maybe it's open to whoever, you know, is here as part of the tournament.
You recruiting?
Not necessarily recruiting, but, you know, maybe there's some skaters that aren't skating that want to practice, and
Ready, Set, Riot coming around for 4 points there for Lansing.
maybe we find a couple of refs and maybe an EMT, and maybe we have a little scrimmage or something. I
That
don't
would be that'd be great.
We're just gonna see what happens when we get there Sunday morning.
Cool. So we've got Adrian back on the jam line there for Ann Arbor. And that's 0 out there for Lansing.
Not to be confused with 0.
0 sneaking through on the inside. She will be your lead jammer. Adrian catching up quick.
So 0 foes given.
0 foes given,
And
yeah.
if it's foe, it's fake. 0 fake, so 100% real.
Ooh, Apex achievement not unlocked. 0 calls it. And Adrian stole 2 points for Ann Arbor on that jam, and Lansing scoreless. It's going to bring Lansing up to 67, Ann Arbor at 145 with just over 18 minutes left to go in this second half.
So 145 Ann Arbor, Lansing 67.
And number 94 of Ann Arbor, who's not on my list, holding down that blocker line. Nutter your business out. Nutter your business. Ann Arbor will be your lead jammer. Roxy Heartbreaker going for that star pass. Number 10, Lucille Brawl, taking a hit to the outside. Number 94, Rio of Ann Arbor, headed to the penalty box for that block. None of your business coming around for that scoring pass. Lucille Brawl on her initial there, I do believe.
Do you think Nutter Her Business is getting partially her name from a Nutter Butter?
Yeah.
I do love a Nutter Butter.
All I know is 4 points going on the board there for Ann Arbor.
I also love 4 points for my team.
Oh, who doesn't, man? Lucille Brawl still on that initial none of your business, putting 4 more points on the board there for Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor at 157, Lansing at 67. We almost have a 100-point game, coming all the way from a tied game early in the first half to a 100-point game, and we're getting there. 4 more points going on the board for Ann Arbor. Lucille Brawl still on that initial pass. Incredible defense there from Lansing. Oh, and Lucille Brawl headed to the penalty box power jam for Lansing. None of your business calls it. 4 more for Ann Arbor. And now we have a 98-point game. Lansing 67, Ann Arbor 165, and Lansing has called an official review.
Official.
Official review.
Speaking of official things,
Yes.
don't forget the official after party tonight.
Lansing Shuffle.
The Lansing Shuffle. Every day I'm shuffling. That's going to be this whole weekend. We're going to be at the Shuffle. Today, tomorrow, Sunday, we're going to be doing the Lansing Shuffle.
Awesome.
Don't forget, coming up in September of next year, right here at the Lansing Center, Team Michigan is going to be hosting Skate Wars.
Who will all be in the Skate Wars? Do we know?
We don't have complete details on that, but it's being hosted by Team Michigan and the Lansing Roller Derby.
And it looks like
You
that's
can get information at theskatewars.com, but we have teams from all over the world going to be coming. We'll have borderless teams, we'll have state teams, we'll have territorial teams, we'll have province teams.
Oh, that sounds awesome. And September 6th through 8th of 2024. Is that Labor Day weekend?
Maybe? No, Labor Day is usually the weekend before. First weekend in September?
Yeah, it's always the first Monday in September.
Yeah, so Labor Day would be the weekend before, so the weekend after Labor Day.
I'm gonna look that
Look
up.
at that.
Right.
That's an interesting stat.
They had a very obvious catchphrase that I still have in my head. I'm not going to say it. In the tournament stuff.
Yeah.
But you
And we're still here officially in a timeout. Plenty more Derby for the weekend,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen.
I
We
didn't
are
see
just
any.
getting started with all the Derby action. This is
Okay.
game 2 on this track alone. We got several more games today, all day tomorrow, and then all the champions playing on Sunday. So we got a full weekend. If you're going to miss today, get up here tomorrow. Get up here Sunday. Lots of great vendors. I will even admit that the concessions, they've got a mac and cheese with some pulled pork on it. It's very nice.
Oh, that's good to know. I was gonna have a little bit of dinner after this. I've got one more bout to announce. When Lansing A takes on Traverse City at 6:15.
Still an official timeout.
So much great Derby going on this weekend right here on track 2. Coming up next at 5:15, we're going to see Ann Arbor's B team, ranked 4 in Division 1, taking on the 5th-ranked Team UP. So you're going to want to stick around for that, those of you watching at home. And switching over to the purple track, track 1 at 6:15. We have Lansing's A team taking on, ranked 2nd, taking on number 7 Traverse City, both of Division 1. And coming up right after that, last bouts of the evening, we've got some state games. We're going to watch Team Maryland take on Team Wisconsin at 8, Indiana versus Ohio at 7. And that's just the first day of Mitten Kittens. Those of you watching at home, we hope you also tune in tomorrow. We have Derby from sun up to sundown, from starting at 9 a.m. and ending
Now,
after 9.
I did lie to the Derby universe earlier.
Did you?
I told them to get into the comments.
Yes.
The comments are not turned on the live feed.
Don't.
I'm sorry, everybody. That was my bad. We've also
quite
lost
a-
some viewership.
Oh, yeah.
We're down to 35 people.
Good going, Chip.
I know. My bad. I get blamed for everything.
Well, at least you're comfortable with it.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
At this point, it feels weird if I don't get blamed for whatever.
Just about ready to get action back underway.
I feel you.
Again, some amazing MVP awards that we as the announcers are choosing. What, an overall MVP, right?
Yes.
And a MVP jammer,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
one of them is going to walk away with a very tasty, delicious orange marmalade, peach jam, or several other spreads from the Cucci family.
And the MVP of the game is going to walk away with either a fresh new pack of Bones Reds bearings or a nice new set of Roller Bones
Oh, what kind
skate
of
wheels, 92A.
Ooh, I need some 92As.
We're back into action, everyone watching at home. We have, it looks like Roxy Heartbreaker picked up a penalty in that last jam. This is a power jam for Lansing. We've got Terminate Her going to be your lead jammer. And I was wrong about Lansing's jammer. That was Lucille Brawl. Lucille Brawl picked up a penalty at the end of that last jam. That's right. Terminate Her coming around, taking a hit there off of Deacon Bruce. Wardall going to come in for an assist there. Wall of Black there, holding back Terminate Her. Number 30, Voodoo Dolly of Lansing, also going to assist. Nice hit there from Wardall. Now it's up to Voodoo. Now it's up to Voodoo, and Voodoo Dolly is sticking to her like glue up there at the front of the pack. Nice bridging there from Bad Aptitude. Terminate her, coming around for 4 hard-fought points.
Lansing has been doing a great job. Like I said earlier, they're doing a great job with their recycling.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Their bridge work is looking really well.
Lucille Brawl out of that pack, looking to get the star pass, and that's 4 more points there for Terminate Her. Lucille Brawl, meanwhile, still on the initial pass.
Was that a hit to knock everybody down in the background there, or was that an invisible blocker?
I'm not sure. I was watching Terminate Her put 4 more points on the board for Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor just a few points below that double century mark. Wardall gonna put a little hit there, a little love tap on Terminate Her, and Terminate Her's gonna call it.
I don't know if I agree with that call. 56 getting called off for a back block. She hit her in the back, but the skater didn't move.
Well, we do have
no position gained, no position lost.
But there's a lot of new, I want to say new talent amongst the Zebra crew in this tournament. We had a lot of long-time dedicated refs retire during COVID.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of skaters take a turn wearing the stripes this tournament, which is awesome. It really, you're going to be a better skater if you take a few turns reffing.
You know the rules. I play a lot of board games. You can't win the game if you don't know the rules.
Precisely. So 179, Sid Monster going to be your lead jammer. Deacon Bruce jamming for the first time, headed to the penalty box for Lansing. This is going to be a power jam for Ann Arbor. 4 more points for Sid Monster. That's going to put Ann Arbor up to 181. Lansing trailing at 67.
Looks like we got a little something on the track there. Could be a helmet cover.
Yes, I believe you're right, Chip. That is a helmet cover. Stray Taco's going to take care of that. Deacon Bruce back in the action there, trying to get through that Ann Arbor wall there.
I don't want a stray taco. I want a very specific taco right in front of me.
Great. Now you got me thinking about tacos.
I know, right?
It's almost dinner time.
Tacos are the perfect food.
They really are.
You've got grains. You got your fruits. You got your vegetables. You got your dairy.
That's right. Tomatoes.
Proteins.
That's right. Tomatoes are a fruit.
It is the perfect food.
I concur. Sid Monster, meanwhile, scoring 4 more points there for Ann Arbor. Deacon Bruce back in the action, still on her initial pass. Number 94 of Ann Arbor doing some dynamite blocking there, and she's waiting for Deacon Bruce again at the head of the pack.
Speaking of packs, what do you call a pack of zebras?
I don't know.
A dazzle. A dazzle of zebras.
4 more points there for Sid Monster, bringing Ann Arbor up to 189. Lansing still at 67. Deacon Bruce taking a hit to the outside. End of the jam. And Lansing's just called a team timeout. We have just 12 minutes left to go in this bout. Ann Arbor once again at 189, Lansing at 67. And I've been involved in Derby for more years than I can count, Chip, and I will never stop being amazed at how we can go from a tied game to a 100-plus point lead in the same game.
I have been playing a lot of sports for a very long time.
Yes.
Not to say that I'm very good at any of them. Right? But
yeah.
I've played a lot of... I was a swimmer and a diver. I used to play some roller hockey. I played softball for years. I've been playing roller derby for a long time, right? So not necessarily that I'm good at all the sports, but there are some things that are universal, even within roller derby. And the first thing is every sport is far more mental than it is physical. And that that mental toughness. That
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how strong you are physically, it doesn't matter how tough you are physically. If your head isn't in the game, if you get down on yourself, right, and you give up
Yeah.
in your head, you will give up on the track.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean,
Not to say that Lansing's giving up.
of course not. I mean,
They are fighting hard.
as you can see at home, Lansing is not giving up. And that's one thing that is remarkable about almost every derby bout I have seen, whether the losing team is behind by 2 points or behind by 200 points, they almost never stop fighting.
No.
And speaking of never fighting, Adrian, lead jam, and Andy Wardle on her heels forcing a call off. 0-0 on that jam. Ann Arbor still at 189, Lansing at 67. Ann Arbor poised to cross the century mark, probably in the double century mark in this next jam or two. But you're right about your head being in the game. You know, I was a skater before I was an announcer, and I'd see that with my teammates sometimes, how they'd
And
sort
just
of,
that little bit of self-doubt, that
Yeah.
little bit of, just too much getting down on yourself. Like you gotta,
Yeah.
we talk about the power of positivity, and
Right.
while the power of positivity, is not the only thing, that's where it starts.
Warhol couldn't keep her back for long. None of your business. Going to be your lead jammer. Oh, nice hit there.
Dark and Stormy with a huge hit.
Dark and Stormy. That was awesome. We're not cheering. We're not favoring either team here. We just like to see a nice hit.
I love a good play. It doesn't matter who it is.
Oh,
I
100%.
said it in the first half. We could be playing a team. They could be beating the snot out of us. And if they make a good play, I'm like, man, that's a good play, man. I like that.
Oh, I know. And see, it's none of your business coming around again for 4 points. Ann Arbor just 3 points below that double century mark at 197. Lansing trailing at 67. 130-point game. And we have only 10 minutes left to go in this bout. 5-on-5 out there. Star pass from Lansing. This is number 69, Rogue One, taking the star for the first time in this bout.
Now, usually when I teach star passes, we teach the pivot to make sure that they are out in front. You want to get that star out with this little
And
opposition.
it's like Ann Arbor picked up 3 more points in that jam. That is going to put Ann Arbor at 200, Lansing at 67. You were saying?
Now, there are times when I'm sitting there and we're playing a really good team, and I got to start doing some math in my head. How many of these skaters can I beat?
Yeah.
Like, because it does us no good to start past the star in the back, because then we've got 4 blockers, right? We want that
Right.
nice, easy, all 4 blockers, stars out, and we're on our way to possibly scoring.
What you see a lot of pivots do is like what Mick Jammer's doing here. If you see her, she's trying to make eye contact with her jammer in case her jammer needs her for that. And let's see, terminate her, number 800 will be your lead jammer. Ready, set, riot, trying to get past number 16, Derive of Ann Arbor. Mick Jammer going to open up that inside. Ready, set, riot, not your lead jammer.
No, I play pivot a lot. I take a lot of star passes. One of the things that's nice is I'm 6'2". I got super long arms.
Yes.
Right? So it's really easy for me to reach over. Whereas, like, you may have, like, this, I'm going to play some favorites here, but when she plays pivot on my team, which is not that often, but 4-leaf clobber, she's got this amazing mix of, like, blocker and jammer knowledge. Like, she'll never admit it.
Yeah.
She'll never admit that she would be a good jammer, but she's got this amazing knowledge of, like, blocker and jammer, so it makes her a really effective jammer. But she's 5'2", like most of my team. I think we did a
that's
survey on the dolls, and, like, our average height was only like 5'3", 5'4".
But that could be an advantage in derby. I mean, I'm 5'3" at my tallest, and I jammed for almost 6 years straight for Flint.
Sour Apple Pie won the MVP.
Tiny. Oh yes,
and-
she's tiny.
And the way she can just duck down below everybody,
Yeah.
right? And the more she plays and the more she practices with us, like, the tougher she gets. And
Right. And that is number 179. She's going to call it. Sid Monster going to call it. Looks like Sid Monster picked up 4 more points for Ann Arbor, taking Ann Arbor up to 208 points. Lansing trailing at 67. And you notice that Lansing's been shut out the last few jams. Ann Arbor doing very effective job, but Lansing still not giving up. You see Bad Aptitude. She is eyeing the Lansing jammer there. And Bad Aptitude's been doing a lot of good work blocking this game, holding down the line of Black there. Number 31, Roxy Heartbreaker jamming for Lansing. And Adrian is out. Adrian going to be lead jammer. And I think Adrian's gotten lead jam every single time she's been out there. Every time they've been out there, sorry. Mick Jammer tried to doing some bridging there. Oh, Mick Jammer getting, I believe, called out there on a penalty. 4 points going on the board there for Adrian.
So what you're saying is Mick Jammer is going to take some shelter at the penalty box.
Well, I was wrong. It was Deacon Bruce. It was Lucille Brawl in the penalty box. Mick Jammer takes the star just as the jam comes to a close. 4 more points on the board for Adrian. Lansing again held scoreless there. So, number 94 of Ann Arbor. Getting a little slap happy here. It's almost the end of the bout. Holding down the line of blockers there for.
Nice blocking there.
Yeah. Rogue One and Wardall have to let her go. None of your business. Going to be your lead jammer.
Demolition was doing a real nice job.
Yeah.
Sticking with the jammer. Now, the one thing that I didn't like is that she was turning her back to the jammer, right? She was doing a great job of holding her back. She should have kept her on that initially, I think it was on her right hip. You kept her on that hip instead of trying to flip back between your left and right.
You always have to keep the jammer kind of in your side vision when you're blocking, right? Like when I was skating a million years ago, I never learned to develop eyes in the back of my head as a teacher, but I learned how to do it as a derby player. And to this day, I'll look behind I find myself looking over my shoulder quite a bit, I'm having flashbacks to when I was still on the track.
And the sport's so different from when you were skating.
Oh, I know. I could not hang with these skaters of 2023.
Like all these skaters are just tough individuals.
And the game has gotten more challenging. Oh, look, Lansing. Lead jam going to number 331, Hemlock. Hemlock taking a hit from the invisible blocker on the turn.
I've gotten hit by that invisible blocker before.
Oh, yeah, me too. Hundreds of times. Terminate her. Meanwhile, on that initial pass, Lansing rallying a bit in this jam. And now Mick Jammer's getting called out on a penalty. Demolition looking for that hole in the pack. And find it she does. 4 points going on the board for Hemlock. Demolition's 3-2-1. Hemlock is 3-31. I apologize for the confusion. Terminate her, meanwhile, still on that initial pass. Annie DeSpanko doing some nice blocking there for Lansing. Hemlock working her way through on a second pass. Terminate her coming around for 4 points there. Hemlock coming around for 4. Hemlock calls it. That jam's going to bring Lansing up to 75, Ann Arbor at 222. We have just under 3 minutes left to go in this bout. Make sure you stick around for the next bout on this track. Coming up at 5:15, we're going to see number 4 ranked Ann Arbor B team taking on number 5 ranked Team UP. Both Division I teams. That should be a fantastic game. I'm going to be announcing Lansing A versus Traverse City on track 1. But I hope those of you at home get a chance to catch one or both of those bouts. They should both be phenomenal. And we have And the jam is called off. Looks like we may have a skater down. Yar giving Flame the once over there on the track. Flame's skating off. We hope she's all right. But when a downed skater can leave the track by her own power, that's always a good thing. But the timeout will continue because the officials can do what they want. And while we're thinking of it, we do want to say thank you so much to all of our officials, skating and non-skating. Thank you so much for coming here, sharing your weekend with us here at Mitten Kittens. Some of you have come a long way to be here, and we could not thank you enough. Also, thank you again to Lansing Roller Derby for hosting this 3-day tournament. It takes an incredible amount of work, just organizational, putting all of this together. It really is a team effort, and we want to say thank you so much to Lansing Roller Derby. Also, thank you so much to everyone on the Mitten Kittens committee, especially big thank you to AK 40 Ounce, whose determination and leadership has really made Mitten Kittens possible here. And
his ability to bring in some of the talent.
yes.
Right. So our tournament head NSO sitting next to me, amazing NSO. Our tournament head refs are great referees.
Yeah.
Lots of knowledge.
Oh yeah.
We've got announcers coming in from as far as I know one guy is coming all the way in from Key West.
Juicy.
Yeah,
Juicy, long-time Michigan Derby announcer, recently moved down to Florida, back up here just for this tournament. Look at that, Zero is out. Zero will be your lead jammer. Sid Monster trailing by a hair. Zero here, moving those legs and those feet as quickly as she can. She knows exactly where Sid Monster is, hoping to pick up a couple of points. That's the call off, and that is 1, 2, 3 points going on the board there for Zero. Ann Arbor held scoreless, bringing Lansing up to 78. Ann Arbor still at 222. We have just a minute and a half to go in this second half.
enough time for one, maybe two more jams. Uno más,
Uno más,
dos más.
possibly.
I say the same thing when we were talking about tacos. Uno más.
Yeah, great, now I'm really hungry.
I know. Yo quiero taco.
We have Adrian back out there jamming for Ann Arbor. Adrian almost through the pack, takes a hit off the invisible blocker. She is through first. She will not be your lead jammer. Oh!
No pass, no penalty.
And Roxy Heartbreaker called off on a penalty. Power jam for Lansing. No, power jam for Ann Arbor. Chip, I'm really slap happy now, I guess.
It's because you think about those tacos.
See? Thanks a lot. 4 points on the board for Adrian.
It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Best annoying song ever.
Ooh.
Adrian
Allen
with a big push up. Nice job getting through on the inside, beating out those Lansing blockers.
4 points going on the board for Ann Arbor. Roxy Heartbreaker fresh out of that penalty box. Still on the Roxy still
We are running on jam time only now.
Oh, you're right. Period clock is at 0. Jammed clock at 41. 4 more points on the board for Adrian. Roxy Heartbreaker going for the star pass out there. Unfortunately, her pivot is stuck in that penalty box.
But she busts through right up the middle.
And jammer Patty goes back on the helmet. Adrian puts 4 more points on the board for Ann Arbor. Adrian, very high scoring jammer in this game. Roxy Heartbreaker lining back up behind that wall, taking a hit there off of a lot of legs. Just as the jam is called off, Adrian stole one more. No, Lansing picked up 1 point there in that jam. Adrian picked up 2 more. And we'll get 3 more, thank you. The ref's thumb was out, didn't see that. And our unofficial score at the end of the bout is Lansing 79, Ann Arbor 241. We will get you that official score in just a minute or two, whenever the refs decide what it is.
Now, it's funny because I'm listening to the in-house announcers here, and I'm kind of like in pace with them in my brain
Yeah.
from announcing, and I'm getting ready to tell everybody to come down to the track. You know what? I don't even care that we're on. Everybody come down to the track, because that means you guys need to be here. All 33 viewers that we have watching right now need to get down to the track, be here and watch this live.
And if you're stuck at work today, we hope you can join us here live tomorrow. Again, we have a full day of Derby here tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m., going till 10 p.m. It is nothing but Derby, Derby, Derby.